I want to give a big shout out to HireUA.
He really does want the best for you and for your company.
It's so easy. I can pay it through a credit card.
I'm really outstanding actually at the quality of the candidate.
The best candidates I've ever interviewed.
I'm having a really good experience, so I'm happy to talk about that.
Yeah, this is the greatest decision I've ever made.
Highly recommend working with them.
HireUA.com and you'll get some great candidates.
Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Kyle. I'm the founder here at HireUA, and I have my friend and HireUA client, Steven, here today to talk about his experience with hiring a video editor. Thanks for coming on today, man. How you doing?
You are very welcome. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So just real quick, you brought on a video editor a few weeks ago. Can you just talk a little bit about your business and kind of what you do in 30, 60 seconds?
Yeah. So I run a video sales letter agency for service-based businesses, primarily for digital marketing agencies, but we work with other service-based businesses who sell their services via a call. So all our VSLs, the end of the VSL, the call to action is to book a call for that business. And up until, I hired a full-time video editor to do with you guys, I was working with freelancers. One specific freelancer was in Canada. So I'm in the UK. So there was always the issue of it being like 7-8 hours behind, which used to frustrate the shit out of me. Lovely guy, great editor, but it got to a point where I was waiting, things were building up, and then the catalyst was when I needed some more editing done. He recommended a guy, and then unfortunately it turned into a shit show. And I was like, enough. I feel like I need to bring on someone full time who's on my time zone, who's reliable, who knows what they're doing, and obviously, I'm now a client of yours. You were a client of mine before, so I knew all about your offer. I know multiple people that have hired from you who keep hiring from you and have been with you a long time. And I was like, oh man, I think it's time I pull the trigger and bring someone in full time. And that's when I approached you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, not to go off topic, but couldn't recommend your services anymore to anyone who sells a B2B offer. It has been an absolute game changer for HireUA. So if you want to go see kind of what Steven does produce, go check out his site as well as our website. You can see what he did for us. So you said that basically you were struggling with the freelancing part of it and having to kind of chase things down. And then when you came to us, it was a fairly urgent situation where you were bringing on a lot of people and we're kind of, I think, wondering like, how the hell am I going to get through all this?
Dude,
can you talk to the general speed and kind of just the process, how it was with us?
Yeah, so I said to you, right, I'm ready to pull the trigger. I need to. I was closing clients, a lot of clients, and I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to fulfill this. So I thought, right, I need a full-time. So I approached you. I think it was like on the Thursday.
I think it was a Thursday, yeah.
I think it was a Thursday. And then like the onboarding process was super quick. The Slack channel was filled with your team. I felt very supported. I was like, all right, these guys know what they're doing, right? It's all no. I knew how good you were, but until I experienced it myself, I was like, "Holy shit! This is one professional outfit." So we literally pulled the trigger on the Thursday. We had a chat. I paid you. The Slack channel set up. Then you sent me some. I think it was the next day or so. That some like 4 potential people. I was like, "Oh, these look great." One I had my eye on just based on the CV, and I was like, "Shit, man!" Intuitively, I was like, "I want him. If he's a nice guy, I definitely want him." And then on the Monday, I interviewed my first 2 people, and the guy I ended up hired was my first one, right? And he was great, right? And so then I hired the second one I interviewed, and then the third and the fourth, but I already knew I wanted him based upon his CV once I spoke to him, and then that was it. So literally on the Thursday, I stated that I wanted to go ahead, and I paid you. On the Thursday, on the Monday, I'd already found the person, even though it took a couple of days, obviously, for it to get started and get the ball rolling. But so 3 working days. And it probably wasn't even... It wasn't even 3 working days.
We got rolling on a Friday,
It wasn't even 3 working days because it was in the afternoon that we spoke, that I paid you, on the Thursday. So really, it was probably 2 working days because I interviewed in the morning, Monday, my time. So, I mean,
basically
crazy
one
turnaround.
business day to interviews. One business day to interviews. And then 2 business days for a full slate. 2 days to a decision, basically. Yeah.
Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
No, dude, it was insane. Like the speed and for me, it was just such a relief to find someone that I knew was going to be able to do a good job. And then since working with him, he's been working with me a couple of weeks now. Like from my point of view, he didn't take that long at all to grasp stuff. he was like, "Oh, I want to be able to do this faster." I'm like, "Mate, we've just started working together." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's shown up, he delivers, and he knows his stuff. He learns very quickly. He's very competent. But you know, I had a feeling he would be like that based upon his CV and what he's done. You know, it's
Got it. Good stuff.
And
would you say at this point he's taken like how much time are you saving like on an average weekly basis by not having to do the editing yourself or having to chase down these freelancers? Like, do you have an estimate maybe by now, like what you're saving now and what you think you might be saving in a few months?
Let's talk about hours saved now. We moved over to the new dynamic editing style where I started actually, because I was doing some basic editing when it was static text on slides originally. Then I brought some freelancers in. The chasing down and let's talk about waiting to get a response from someone. Let's just talk about the waiting time. You're looking at like 7 or 8 hours a day. I'm waiting for somebody to get back to me, and like
whole business
a day
day for you.
A fucking day, mate. You know what I mean? No messing. And then let's talk about the stress of the freelancer, this not being their main gig, right? And taking longer to turn around a VSL than normal. I'm saving probably 3 to 4 days, maybe 5 days now, because I reckon we're going to have to turn around.
Off the process?
3 to 4 days, yes.
Yeah. Whoa,
yes.
Okay. That's a lot.
Because I reckon we'll test it this week. We might be able to turn around a VSL from start to finish editing in 4 days. But that's you know what I mean. So for me, 4 days that's amazing. But sometimes I was waiting like a lot longer. And when it's not a priority, when they're not like a full-time employee, they've got other stuff going on and blah blah blah. And it's like it's so the amount of stress it has saved me. And I now have complete faith in Michael, and I know he'll deliver. And I don't know. It's
awesome.
just I'm really really happy, man. We want to talk about the saving on the money. Holy shit!
Yeah, let's talk about that.
If I was paying somebody in the UK, right, you're probably looking at maybe for what they're doing and the level of expertise and that kind of stuff. You're probably looking at about $4 or $5 grand a month, right? So I'm actually
70%
saving
less.
Yeah, easy. I'm actually saving probably £3,000 to £4,000 a month, right?
And is that somewhat good in the UK, or is that like a mid-level person kind of just skating through? Is that like cream of the crop talent, or is that kind of?
I wouldn't say it was. I wouldn't say it was cream of the crop, but it wouldn't be like shit.
It's not terrible. Yeah. Okay,
no, it's not terrible. It's probably be middle of the road, but it's
okay.
But it's still, the time saver, the money saver. The stress really, like for me, the stress and the amount of frustration is now that's freed up. I know that I can send. This is the beautiful. I know that I can send Michael a script, a VSL script with a voiceover and the script, and he can literally start putting it together now without any input from me.
That's literally, good stuff. After a month too, that's good. Yeah.
Dude, it's not a month.
Yeah,
it's
right.
It's like a couple of weeks.
3 weeks.
That's insane. I don't have to give me any guidance to that because the thing is he appreciates the level of feedback and detail I go to, but he's very skilled as well. So it's like, man, I'm going to have to pull the trigger and hire another one from you very soon as well. I know we've had a conversation about this at the time we're shooting this video, so it's like, it's going to have to be done. So it's allowing me to produce high quality video assets for my clients, which is what I want. In a timely manner, and I'm saving shit tons. I'm a lot less stressed.
Awesome.
So there's unbelievable benefits from working with you and hiring from you.
We really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, just to give you guys some perspective too, I think your average time frame on a VSL can be like maybe 4 to 6 weeks. So cutting 4 days off of that delivery, that's huge. I mean, that's 4 days too. It's 32 hours. That's significant. Like, a ton of time saved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Money,
of course.
to boot.
Yeah, and to be able to have someone who is working on my hours. I mean, Ukraine was 2 hours ahead, but he's happy to work on my time and a little bit into the evenings as well, UK time, because I have some US clients.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is just brilliant. I can get up in the morning, message him, he messages me straight back. I'm like, like literally sometimes within
magic.
seconds or a few minutes, whereas before I was waiting 7 to 8 hours to be able to engage with a freelancer. So
Can't run a business like that.
and it's not for some things as well. I'm still engaging some freelancers, but because of like workload and sometimes different things like that. But this is why now I'm like, okay, do I keep want to spending money on the freelancer stuff, or do I want to take on somebody else full time and save that money, that kind of stuff. So it's I had to get my head around. There was I had some resistance for a little bit about like bringing someone on full time. I'm like, okay, because it's a commitment, it's a financial commitment.
It is,
like I'd never done that before, and it's like training them. Michael doesn't need much training, but communication and all that kind of stuff. So it's like shit. But then it was just like, dude, you don't have a fucking choice, bro. You have to do this.
You have to do it. Yeah.
No choice. You want to scale the business, which I do. You have to do this. Because all the stuff I was taking on myself and the stress levels and that is just like, just pull the trigger, man.
Yeah. Something else I want to just touch on briefly, too, as you said, he doesn't need a lot of hand-holding, and that's something a lot of people, when they bring someone on, if they've gone to a traditional outsourcing country, they need to spell everything out every day. And, I mean, I'm not going to show Michael's CV here on the call, but, I mean, his resume was really impressive. Like, that is a high-level person, and the fact that you can basically, at this point, a couple weeks in, say, here it is, and he can just run instead of needing do this, do that, and the handhold, that is what sets the Ukrainian talent just miles above a lot of the other places out there.
100%, bro. Listen, when I saw his CV, like I said to you, I was like, it jumped out from all the others. Like, seriously, I was like, if I like the guy, I want him. You know what I mean? And I think I would have put up with him even if he wasn't a nice person as well. Because I was like, he's obviously got the talent, but
got the chops. Yeah.
Yeah. He knows his stuff, and he's a really nice guy. And I can totally see him being a significant part of the agency for ages, for years, that kind of stuff, because he's
awesome.
Because I like him, and he's good. He knows his stuff, and because of all the previous experience as well, he's got in other disciplines in that field. Man, yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Movie production, I think, if I recall right.
Crazy,
a lot of stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And similar background to me with the acting stuff and producing my own stuff and creating and filming my own stuff as well in the past. So there was a level of understanding with that as well. So yeah, brilliant. Mate.
And that's, we look for those kind of fits too, right? Everyone on my team knew your history, your background. Obviously they see the VSL that you produced for us, but they were given a background on who you are, kind of your history. So, they're looking for someone who like, oh yeah, this could probably be a pretty good fit. So that all of that really, comes together with our process that we do here at HireUA. Thank you so much for the time, and I really don't have anything else to add. This was fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time, and I'm glad it's going so well with Michael.
Dude, pleasure, man. Thank you for setting up the agency, bro, because it's saved my life, man. It saved my business. Yeah, for sure, man. All right, mate. Take care.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much, Stephen. Go to hire-ua.com if you guys want to book a call and find out about your hiring needs, and check out Stephen at videosalesexpert.com as well if you're looking for a high-quality VSL. Cheers.